My video for March the 9th, 2016 is entitled, "We All Wear Masks. We are all hypocrites." A long time ago, I learned that the word hypocrite means wearer of masks. Of course, we'd all like to put our best face forward, myself included. That's why I wear makeup for my videos to cover the facial blemishes that annoy me. The problem, however, is much deeper than our skin alone. We want others to think well of us, which often leads to what we call white lies. As I saw it in my meditation this morning, before I even got out of bed, we want to be considered positive people rather than negative. This often makes us hypocrites. We think that avoiding the negative, shadow elements that we all have will somehow make us better people. What it does, however, is turn us into self-judging slaves. I'm not saying we have to go around telling others our deepest, darkest secrets, but we absolutely must be honest with ourselves and also have a circle of friends where we can be real without pretension. This goes a long way in liberating us from our own self-deception. It's not the image we show to the world that counts, but rather the heart that motivates us day by day. Let's get to the heart of what matters. Only love. Yes, it's been over 12 hours actually since I wrote that blurb. I wrote it just after, by the way, my other video went live, and just after I had gotten up a little bit before that. So it was fresh in my mind when I wrote the blurb, although, as I said, it's more than 12 hours later. And yes, I have makeup on my face to cover the blemishes because they bother me. You know, it's ironic that when I was a teenager, my skin was better than it is now. And I mean, I get these whiteheads and all sorts of other blemishes that just, as I said, it annoys me. But I really, in the meditation, I really saw the need to emphasize yet again the importance of telling the truth. Now, we've all heard the saying, "You shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free." The problem is we have been also brainwashed by our culture to think that we have to, that if we share things that are negative or looking at some of the issues that we face, that somehow that makes us a lower classification of individual, or worse, it just brings more negativity upon us. And I find this very ironic because, for example, the government structure in the United States anyway, and it probably has effects in other parts of the world as well, but in the United States, 501c3s, which are churches or nonprofit organizations, are not allowed to talk about politics without losing their tax-exempt status. So we can't even explore issues that are very, very relevant and meaningful in our development as human beings. We are taught to put certain things on the back burner and not focus on them, because if we focus on them, we're going to get more of it. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy from my perspective. Now, of course, you all can have your own perspectives, and you all will. And a lot of people disagree with certain things. I've had people say, "I'm not going to listen to your videos anymore." And then they come back and they listen and they comment more. And I've had that happen numerous times throughout the years that I've been making daily videos. And I've always drawn the ire of people that push this positive mental attitude thing, that we should only talk about what we want, because if we talk about what we don't want, again, we're going to get more of it. We've been getting more of it all along. And the only people that want to shut us up are the people that want to control us and turn us into greater hypocrisy, so that our masks become thicker and thicker and thicker, and we are unwilling, in many cases, to even look in the mirror And I'm not talking about a physical mirror as much as I'm talking about a spiritual mirror to see what we are. If we actually looked at what we are based on how we think and how we act, we would often find ourselves to be very different than what we try to portray, because we all live in societies that have certain standards. Even if the standards are negative, we want to measure up to the standards of our own society, our own friendship circle. This is human nature, I guess, although truly Anastasia brings out, as far as I'm concerned, the real human nature, that we are not weak and incapable of doing a lot of things. We are actually very powerful, including disassembling our bodies and reassembling them in another location. You know, there's so many talents, gifts, and abilities that I see when I read the Anastasia books. I see her demonstrating and her little boy demonstrating, and I know it's such a challenge for us that have grown up in our modern society of brainwashing and control. I know it's difficult for us to even think that it's capable, that we are capable of having such extraordinary powers and abilities. Yet I truly believe that we are. Do I know how to tap into that? If I did, I would. But again, fear holds me back. Fear of what other people will think, fear of getting it wrong. Although I still make my videos every day, I still challenge the status quo, both politically and religiously. I still try to get people to consider other points of view than the one that is the acceptable point of view in whatever culture listens to me. These things, folks, are the basis of our lives. Our very lives, in my opinion, are at stake if we don't find a way to move into true honesty, and especially to be able to love ourselves and to love our neighbors as ourselves. Now, again, we can't love our neighbor if we don't love ourselves. It's just impossible, because love has to start from our own heart, from the center of our own being. It has to begin there. If it doesn't begin there, we can't put it out. We can't give what we don't know we have. And we all have it, but we don't know we have it. We've lost it. We've lost the connection with spirit. We've lost the connection with that which is everywhere. And it's the empty space where spirit is. It's, you know, they say that there's so much space between the nucleus of an atom and the electrons floating around the atom. And of course, that same picture is drawn with the Earth and the planets that go around the sun or stars. It's the dark image, or the space in the gaps, where spirit actually connects us all. We don't see it. We often don't feel it, although some people can feel it. I have felt it. Do I always feel it? No. And sometimes when I want to feel it the most, it evades me. But sometimes when I'm not even trying, there it is. I like to hug trees, as I've said in other videos. And that's why I go for my walks in the park. And the other day, one of the trees, which was probably about I'm going to say at least 18 inches or 1.5 to 2 feet in diameter up at the place where I was holding it, actually the wind was blowing and it was rocking the whole tree that I was hugging the tree, and it was rocking the tree. And I thought, well, I mean, the top of the tree's 50, 60 feet up in the air. I mean, I'm guessing that that's how far it is. But in any case, I could feel it down near where I was hugging and where I was holding the tree. The tree was literally rocking. So there's a lot of things that we need to tap into, and a lot of abilities that we have that are latent. And I pray that we awaken so that we can transform our lives and the world around us. Again, thank you for listening. Namaste.